Good day, ladies and gents. My name is Fox Soul. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some more Marvel Rivals. In today's conversation of discussion, we're going to be talking about the meta direction that is being set forth for the game, and just how it's working out for some players. We've been seeing a rise of a very specific team composition, one that has seemingly started dominating a little bit in the competitive scene, which is the 3 tanks and 3 heroes meta. So, why is this meta so effective? Let's have a conversation about it. When it comes to specific meta introduced in Rivals, the question has been asked by some players is, why does this team composition work so well? Well, let's take a look at the vanguard role, your traditional tank. In traditional games, tanks are often referred to as massive damage sponges holding the front line, absorbing damage while their teammates deal the real damage. This is why you would have DPSs on your team. However, in Marvel Rivals, the tanks in this game aren't there just to be damage sponges. They're there dishing out the damage as well, making this role more versatile and aggressive, and it means that they're not meant to be just passive in their role. Now, pairing this up with 3 supports and 3 tanks does seemingly create a secret sauce, if you would, because when you pair these damage-dealing tanks with 3 healers, you create a self-sustaining unit that's incredibly hard to break down. Tanks can initiate fights, absorb incoming damage, and hold the front lines, while supports work their magic from the back line. These healers also, they don't just focus on keeping the tanks alive, they also provide a significant amount of damage themselves. Think about it like this. These aren't just passive healers, standing, behind cover and pew pew, I'm going to heal you. In Marvel Rivals, healers are designed to be active contributors to the fight, offering both substance and offensive support. This means they can keep their tanks alive long enough for the tanks to close the gap and wreak havoc on the enemy team, while providing additional background fire. As well, the critical elements of this meta is based on timing and positioning. Tanks with their ability to engage the enemy team and withstand massive damage is being paired with healers who can maintain their presence on the battlefield while staying at optimal distances. This is key to making this setup work. By having the healers on the team positioned just right, close enough to maintain constant healing, but not close enough that they're vulnerable to enemy attacks, and with this proper positioning, they can ensure that the tanks stay at full health even under heavy fire. As well, with proper positioning comes proper timing of these engagements. A tank, for example, can initiate with a heavy offensive move, while the healers can time their supportive abilities to ensure that they're keeping their tanks alive through the initial burst of damage or through the counter of enemy focus fire. This combination creates an unstoppable synergy that forces the tank to push forward with the healing backup that is giving them the edge to secure those kills and hold down the objective. And with this team synergy comes an unbreakable bond between both tanks and healers, which is proven to be devastating on objectives. In Rivals, control over objectives is everything, and having a setup that can deal massive damage and sustain through almost anything. See, with this type of team, they are able to hold their ground with these objectives, often pushing the enemy team off the point with just sheer brute force. What's even more powerful, if you think about it, is that this composition doesn't require a DPS at all to help capture objectives, because when the tanks themselves are providing the damage needed with the support from their healers and maintaining the pressure, we can see that there is no immediate weakness, and the enemy team struggles to find an opening, which forces them into a defensive position, allowing this team composition to dominate the flow of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, this meta isn't invincible. As dominant as this composition does seem to be, there are still ways to counter it. But the strength of this setup lies in its ability to be highly adaptive and resilient, compared to traditional DPS compositions that might struggle against this setup due to lack of sustain. High damage burst heroes or well-timed crowd control can be effective in taking down the healers or even limiting the tank's ability to function at full strength. However, the strength of this meta in Marvel Rivals is really showing just how much of a viable strategy it really is, and it's proving to be a difficult one for opponents to break through. So why is this meta start to dominate Marvel Rivals? Well, again, it comes down to the sheer understanding that Rivals is a game of strategy, and the meta itself is a self-adapting, thought-provoking strategy game that capitalizes on the synergy between tanks and healers, providing a team composition that is both self-sustained and very much offensive. And with that, we will come to a close. So, let me ask you then, by any chance, have you ran this meta with your team? Or have you faced it already in battle? As well, I would like to ask, do you have a counter approach strategy to helping you deal with this type of team? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Marvel Rivals content right here on the channel. And like always, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, always keep it real, and I will see you on the battlefield next time.